Hello everyone, welcome to my DRF channel. In this tutorial, I will show you how I can use IMM insert multi-mesh brushes. First of all, I will show you how to install these brushes. After downloading and unzipping, you can see all the brush files with the extension set ZBP, and the only thing you have to do now is open your ZBrush installation folder, switch to this brushes directory and just copy folder with brushes in this location. Now you can start ZBrush. Let's choose Sphere 3D. It is very important to not use a low poly model if you want to have a correct result using IMM brushes, because ZBrush project them on the surface of your model. Click on the edit icon and then on the Make Polymesh 3D. Click on the left small arrow icon near your subtool to create a group of subtools, and the word Start will be shown. This mesh will be defined as a main subtool. Make sure that the Live Boolean button is activated, otherwise you will not see the result. To open your brushes, you should click on the lightbox icon or open a brush menu and find the lightbox brushes there. The link to the free brush pack is added to the description below. Let's choose a brush, for example this one. Click and hold your left mouse button on the main subtool and drag the mouse to see the result. As you can see, your main subtool has changed, and now we need split brush from the main subtool. To do this, scroll down, find the Split submenu and click on Split and Mask Points button. Scroll up and click on Start Arrow and Separated subtool, which is the brush. You can add, subtract or intersect subtools. I don't have any levels of subdivision on my sphere and on my IMM brush. I want to see the result in real time, so let's use the dynamic subdivision. To do this, scroll down and find in Geometry menu Dynamic Subdiv submenu. Click on the Dynamic button to see the result. I will use the Dynamic subdivision also with the sphere by using my hotkey. Let's go to Solo mode. Every DRF IMM brush has a perfect quad topology without endguns. If you want to change the depth effect of your brush, make sure that you are on the right subtool. Click on subtool that you want to change, then press W button on your keyboard or click on Move icon. Click and hold an arrow which is perpendicular to a brush projection and drag your mouse to change the depth effect of your brush. If your brush has an incorrect depth effect, you can easily fix this. Just click on the scale box, hold down your left mouse button and drag your mouse to define a perfect projection. Now, as you can see, the brush has a correct projection. Let's choose another brush and see how to use symmetry. Let's use this brush. Make sure that you use a right subtool. There are two ways to activate symmetry. Press X button on your keyboard or go to the Transform menu and select Activate Symmetry. Click and hold the left mouse button and drag the mouse to see the result. I used my hotkey to split unmasked point, then I click on the Subtract icon. Actually, let's use an Add operator for this subtool. Okay, let's try another brush. Don't forget to check which subtool do you choose to place an IMM brush on. In my case, I choose the main subtool, which is the sphere with the start flag. If you hold down the spacebar on your keyboard, you can move your brush on the surface. Let's find the good positions for our brushes. When you are happy with the position of your brushes, release the spacebar and mouse button. When you place a new brush on the subtool with start name, you always need to split and mask points to see the result. So don't forget about it. I use my hotkey. You can change the Boolean operator always when you need it. You can switch between add, subtract or intersection operators. Let's change an operator for this brush from subtract into add. Let's choose this subtool. We need to use the move tool to place it deeper, so let's move it deeper. As you can see, it is not a precise projection. To fix this, we need to use the scale tool to make a correct projection on a main subtool as we did before. You can always hide, unhide or delete your IMM brushes because they are just subtools. If you don't see the result after using any IMM brush, make sure that your subtool is turned on. Check the eye icon near the subtool and also make sure that the Live Boolean icon is activated.
Let's turn off the dynamic subdivision for now. If you have a lot of IMM brushes on your Start subtool, it can slow down a viewport of ZBrush. So, if you have many subtools, I recommend you deactivate dynamic subdivision on your model. Use dynamic subdivision only at parts of your model that you work with to check the final result, and use dynamic subdivision when you finish with the design of your model.
Make sure that you click on the DSDiv button before to click on Make Boolean Mesh button to see smooth and correct result. Let's wait a little bit, and when the process of operation will be finished, you will see the result. If you want to place your IMM brush in a vertical or horizontal position, choose a brush, click and hold the left mouse button and hold down Shift button on your keyboard.
When you like the result, release Shift button and left mouse button. After this, as usual, click on Split and Mask Points icon or use your hotkey for the separation, and then near your subtool, click on Start arrow and choose the Add, Subtract or Intersection operator icon.
Let's use another IMM brush at an angle without using a Shift button. When you will decide to use another brush and make it perfect vertical or horizontal after you used previous one at an angle, you will see that your brush will be at the same angle that was used in previous IMM brush or perpendicular it. Make sure that you choose the main subtool with the start flag. If you press W button on your keyboard or just click on the move icon, you will see that the axis at an angle. Click on the lock unlock icon, then click on the counterclockwise arrow icon to reset the orientation. After this, click on the lock icon again. Press the Q button on your keyboard or click on the draw icon. Now you can draw again in a precise vertical or horizontal orientation. Also, you can stretch your brushes. Click on the left mouse button and start dragging your mouse. While you move your mouse, hold down the Alt button on your keyboard. Release the Alt button and left mouse button to see the result. Let's choose another brush. When you will choose another brush after distortion, the new one will keep the previous transformation. So, hold down Ctrl plus Alt while you use your brush to reset your brush to the original shape. Insert mesh brushes work with Quads Mesh, Dynamesh, Decimated Mesh. Let's make a small test with our brushes on them. Let's project our IMM brush on the surface and start with Quads Mesh. First of all, let's choose the right subtool. To avoid any distortions, hold down the Alt button on your keyboard to find a perfect shape. Hold down the spacebar button to move your brush on the surface. Here you can see the result. Let's try our brush on a Dynamesh. Let's choose another brush. For example, this one. Don't forget that you can stretch your brush and move it on the surface of your model. Let's correct the shape of our brush and move it a little bit. Let's leave it like this. As you can see, the result is good. Here is the example of using IMM brushes on a decimated mesh. I already took another brush. While I draw, I hold down Shift, Alt and Space buttons to make a better projection of the brush to the surface. I think this brush position is good for this example. Here is the result. Let me show you some examples of what we can do using Insert Multi-Mesh brushes in ZBrush. You can combine brushes like you want. Also, you can subtract brushes from each other or add brushes to other brushes to make very fast and interesting result on your model. There are 14 free hard surface IMM brushes for ZBrush from a huge pack of 3,861 brushes. You can use them as you want for any of your amazing projects. The free download link will be in the description below. Here are some rendered examples that were done just in minutes using these brushes. You can save a lot of your time for creativity and design using them. This huge pack has 3,861 hard surface real geometry IMM brushes with perfect quad topology. There are 3 types of brushes with different effects for any situation in this pack. For most motivated people, the link will be in the description below. Please check it. There will be other tutorials on this DRF channel soon, in which I explain to you more interesting tricks about IMM brushes and how to use them to make an amazing design. Thank you so much for watching this video. Stay creative and keep creating.